Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. What do you suppose would happen if you drove your car year after year after year and never went to go see a mechanic? You never changed your oil, you never had your tires rotated, you never checked to see if you had enough brake fluid, you never had an engine check. What do you suppose would happen? Or what do you suppose would happen if you never mowed your grass, or you see that there's a stain on your ceiling, but you never investigate what they may be? You hear a noise when you turn on your heat or your AC, but you never check it out. What do you suppose would happen? Everything that you use in your home, in your car, electronics, your cell phone, at some point need an update. They need maintenance. And the same thing goes with us. We need regular maintenance in order to sustain our lives in Christ. We cannot go days, weeks, months, years without some sort of communication with God, without worship, without studying, without reading, without finding out where we are in this life's journey, and then making the necessary moves and changes in order to become stronger in God. After a while, when you don't do maintenance on your home and you don't do maintenance on your car, things are going to break down. Things are going to shut off. Things are not going to be able to be used again. If you go for long periods of time without putting oil in your car, your engine is going to freeze up. You're not going to be able to use it. If you go for months and months and months seeing a leak, just trying to put a bucket under it or trying to patch it up, what you're going to find is that you have ruined your structure. You have ruined the ceiling. There could be mold. There's all kind of things that can happen when you don't do regular maintenance on your home, when you don't do regular maintenance on your car. If we don't continue to do maintenance on our spiritual selves, we're going to find ourselves further and further away from God. We're going to find ourselves that we don't have the tools that are needed in order to combat the devil, in order to combat the things that we face in life. The same way it is in the spiritual, it's the same way it is even with our bodies. If we don't go for regular doctor's appointments, if we sense that something is wrong, if we're feeling aches and pains, if we feel a lump somewhere, if we're having a hard time walking or doing certain things and we just let it go, at some point our bodies are going to break down, and things that we could have managed earlier now are at a different level because we chose to ignore it. Have you ever heard of people who said, well, yeah, I felt this kind of way and this was bothering me, but I figured that it would go away? Oftentimes things that go on with our bodies, that go on with our cars, that go on with our homes, that go on with different things that need to be regularly maintained, they just don't go away. They continue to fester. And the longer that you let something go, the worse that it gets, the bigger the problem. And oftentimes when it comes to our homes and with our cars, the things that we let go are the things that now are going to cost us more money to fix because we didn't do regular upkeep before. So I encourage you on today that as you walk through this journey that we call life, to continue to check in with God, continue to study, continue to worship, continue to listen, continue to do things that will strengthen your inner man, that will strengthen your spirit, that will strengthen your mind, so that when problems come up, you know how to combat. When problems come up, you know the proper way to attack. You know how to deal with certain situations. You know how to kill off certain things that are in your life so that you can maintain a strong and healthy physical and mental self and spiritual self. We cannot walk in this life life is happening with so many things going on. We cannot continue walking through this life not spiritually maintained, not spiritually sound, having a disconnect from God. We have to keep a strong connection, a strong, healthy connection with God. And the only way to do that is with regular checkups, with regular maintenance, with always making sure that we are where we need to be in God when we need to be there. So again, I encourage you, check in with God, and I am a strong believer that when you honestly and sincerely need to know something, want to know something from God, while he may not answer you right there on the spot, he will answer you. He will let you know where you are. He will give you the information that you need in order to maintain the relationship that you need to have with him. So ask. The Bible talks about seek and ye shall find, knock and the door will be open unto you. So when you ask God for something, when you are seeking information about where you are on the spiritual line with God, he will let you know. He will let you know, look, daughter, son, you need to study my word more. We need to spend more time together in prayer. There are things I need to deposit into you. There are things I want to share with you. You need to fast in this area. We need to concentrate on another area. We need to let go of this. We need to pick up that. Those are the things that will keep our spiritual bodies maintained, keep our spiritual minds and our spirits maintained so that we can be strong in God. We cannot afford in this season to let things go. We can't afford to say, okay, you know what? I'll do this later. I'll study later. I'll worship later. I'll go to church later. I'll talk to God later. There was a time when people would say, I'll find God when I get older. People are passing away young. Things are happening. COVID proved that age has nothing to do when you may be gone from here. We are seeing children who are being killed, who are dying in the streets. We don't know when our number may come up in the register. And so it is important that we maintain a strong, healthy, maintained relationship with God. The same way you do your regular maintenance on your car. You take your car for a tune-up every so often, every number of miles. We do that. The same way we go for our regular physicals to make sure that our bodies are where they need to be. The same way we do certain things in our home to make sure that things are up to par. We check our AC unit. We check our electrical units. We check to see if our roof is intact. We check all of these things in the physical. We need to check the same type of things in the spiritual to make sure that we are strong and healthy and well maintained to walk and to serve and to do what God has called us to do. Check on your spiritual maintenance. Make sure you are where you need to be in God. And if you're not, now don't put it off. Make the changes. Do what needs to be done to bring your spiritual self where it needs to be so that you can be an effective child of God in the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you next time on Talks in the Car.